Mylett Show, and I'm excited to have Uncle G, Grant Cardone, with me here today, and I've been looking forward to doing this for a very, very long time.
You know how I got tagged with this uncle thing, huh?
I do.
You know the story?
Yeah, well, you ought to tell everybody. Go start out with that. How'd you get tagged with that?
You know, my dad died when I was 10. First of all, always great to be with you, Ed.
You too, man.
I really have a real, very strong connection with you.
We do.
As a person, not just as a man or a business or sales or any of this other stuff. But, I rarely say that, by the way. So, anyway, my dad died when I was 10, and I kept waiting for somebody to come in, you know, in my life. And there was an Uncle Jay, Uncle Paul, and an Uncle Vincent, and, you know, none of them showed up.
Yeah.
And I'm not resentful because they didn't show up, because they had their own lives. They had their own stuff going on. They just never showed up. And then I found myself looking for the football coach, the black football coach. I thought, okay, maybe he's going to be my uncle.
Right.
You know, I was looking for a mentor.
Yeah.
And even went to college. The CIA teacher, I had a guy that was ex-CIA that taught a psychology class.
Okay.
I thought, oh, maybe he's going to do it. And
did you ever let any of them know you were looking for that?
No, not really. You know, I was looking for, you know, and I remember telling my mom, I said, one day I'm going to be somebody out of frustration. One day I'm going to be somebody, and I'm going to help other people. Anyway, I told that story, and then somebody said, hey, G, will you be my uncle?
I love that, man.
Yeah.
So
I'm being that uncle.
You've been that uncle to hundreds of thousands of people now.
Yeah, trying to be.
What's that feel like? Like you now, long time ago, did you see yourself like, hey, I'm going to be having this stewardship or this relationship with hundreds of thousands of people where many of them really do look at me like I'm their Uncle G?
Yeah,
what's that feel like?
By the time, I mean, it feels good today. You know, it's a little weird, but when from 16, when I made that decision to 25, I couldn't even be my own uncle. My own, like I hated myself.
You told me that.
Yeah, I mean, literally.
Is that the word? You hated yourself? You're walking around in self-hatred?
Without a doubt, total self-hatred.
Like, I don't like what I look like. People think I'm a loser, or, I mean, something like that, or worse.
I couldn't even look at myself. Like, I was 130 pounds. I weigh 170 pounds today.
Well, you're a big guy.
So, you're so wrong, man.
Just plain, you know you look great.
So I was weighing like 140, 138.
Wow.
Gray. Okay? Like gray. I had no color in my face. Bones, like negative, like, you know, I was terrible, dude. I was
can't sort of picture that.
Bankrupt in every way. And I came from a good family. It's not like my dad abandoned me, and mama didn't mistreat me. I didn't grow up in a 200 square foot apartment, you know. I grew up in a nice brick house, 3 bedrooms, 5 kids, and just went south.
Wow.
You know.
And what changed?
Well, I quit doing drugs.
When you're 25, did you quit doing drugs?
Yeah, I smoked my first joint when I was 16 with my brother, my twin brother, and Russell, and what was the other dude's name? Anyway, he was a rich lawyer's son. And we smoked weed. I knew it was wrong the first time I did it.
You intuitively knew I'm doing something bad.
I knew. Like, I wouldn't show anybody this. I wouldn't want my dad to see me doing this. I wouldn't want my mom to see me doing this. I was embarrassed by it, you know.
Yeah.
And the next thing you know, I'm smoking weed every day. And the next thing you know after that is I'm using other drugs.
Yep.
And the next thing you know, I know everybody thinks that would never happen to you, but it happened to me.
Yep.
And the next thing you know, I'm doing cocaine every day. Any kind of drug, actually. It wasn't, people online will say, oh, Cardone's a cocaine addict or something. Dude, I was using pills.
Wow.
I was using phenobarbital.
Do you know why? You think you do it to alter how you felt? You felt so crappy about yourself. You're like, I'm going to alter how I feel or numb it, or is it just you just started to get addicted and did it?
Well, I think one day I looked up and I was addicted, and they were available, and the people I was around, that's what they were doing. So it was this vicious cycle that I had become addicted. My body, basically, addiction is not a disease, and it's not like you have I don't know, bone disease. Addiction is a choice. Like you choose to use a drug. So I went to a treatment center. I've been through all this, so I know some people are going to tell you, "Oh, Cardone's crazy. There is an addiction, and da da da." And I know. Well, I'm just telling you, okay?
Right.
Like I can have a glass of wine, and don't have the propensity to drink 2 bottles.
Well, I've seen you do it. I know that.
Yeah. So, you know.
But how's that guy? You get this guy.
Yeah.
He quits drugs. I get all that.
Yeah.
But now, I mean, let's be honest. I mean, You're one of the more influential businessmen in the country in terms of your influence, your reach to people. You could argue in some cases you're the most, right? I mean, you reach lots of people.
That's nice to hear that.
But it's true.
Yeah.
And so you're this Uncle G figure.
Yeah.
What's that feel like?
Yeah.
What's it like?
No, it feels good. I mean, it feels good. I'm not perfect, so like I think about it. There's a responsibility with it, right? So like I cuss.
Yes.
And then my wife's like, you really should be a bigger role model. I'll smoke a cigar, or I'm drinking a glass of wine, or, or I use my sense of humor incorrectly, right? So there's
you do that. That's true once in a while.
Or too soon. Like I get over tragedies really fast, and I can make jokes about them the next day.
Right.
And people are like, it's too soon, man. You can't do that.
But on the other hand, that's part of the allure of you, that you're not so buttoned up. You're transparent. What you see is what you get. I think also, you're willing to reveal some of these flaws you have, and I think some of the guys that are out there, and I need to watch this too sometimes, they're trying to put something on all the time, release an image or stay with some sort of a persona that they have. You're just really you. Like, isn't that fact? Like, all the offices here are glass. Like, I was in your meeting this morning. These people know you. They know the real you. They know the funny you. They know the serious you. They know the flawed you. They know the stud you, right?
Yeah, and they know I go from funny to serious, like from 0 to 60 in a half a second.
Yeah.
And then I can go back to funny. Like I don't get stuck in serious. So I go back and forth really, really fast.
Yeah.
And that confused a lot of people. They're like, what just happened there?
Yeah, I do see that in you.
And
do you enjoy this? I mean, are you enjoying this stage of your life with the influence you have, the attention, this growing business that you have?
I mean, I love helping people. I like influencing people. I like countering a lot of the negative data out there and the negative information and the wrong information.
Yeah.
And, you and I were talking about, some of the things that people promote out there today that is shortcuts to success.
Right. Both you and I are both, I mean, we're both guys, we both have a glass of wine, but we're both into keeping our bodies pure and clean and healthy. Neither one of us believe in any kind of drug use at all. I mean, that's something you and I both have in common. I've never smoked weed. I've never done anything like that. I just wouldn't want to put that stuff in my body.
Well, I tell you what, if you're smoking weed, I definitely want to compete with you.
Yeah, right. I'm gonna kick your ass.
Okay,
right.
so I know I'm gonna kick your ass. Yeah. If you have to go wash your hands after you do something to get the smell off, I'm gonna kill you.
Right.
You're gonna lose deals. It's costing you money. It's costing you time. It's costing you energy.
Right.
It slows you down.
Yep.
And you're like, oh, nobody's ever died because they smoke weed. That's right. But you slow down when you smoke weed.
No question about it.
Like you 1 minute you're driving 70 miles an hour, and the next minute you're driving 30. Why? Because you lost certainty. Right. And what I don't want to lose is certainty and awareness. Right. So it's interesting because after this weekend.
Yeah.
The Mandalay Bay.
This weekend, when you're watching this, it may be recent, it may not be, but what happened this weekend is the Mandalay Bay shooting took place, and Grant was actually at the Mandalay Bay in the hotel during the event.
Yeah. And it was just a really eye-opening event about being aware and being prepared.
Yeah.
And what nobody knows, because we didn't release it, was that afternoon I spoke to an audience.
I know.
What?
Well, you gonna show me that thing with a gun? You talking about that thing with a gun?
Oh, yeah, the one I sent you.
Yes.
I sent it to you.
Yes. Wow.
Okay, I might include the little clip here.
Yeah.
Maybe just for your
audience.
Include
that.
But I know it's going to get misused. If I put it out online, it's going to get misused. But at 2:45 in the afternoon, we were preparing to leave the Mandalay Bay. We were on the 20th floor. We didn't know the shooter was on the 35th floor. Mm-hmm. And that night we had a dinner planned, a party for investors planned on the 35th floor, on the 43rd floor. So 20, 35, 43. We've been living with the shooter for 4 days.
Right.
Okay.
He's been living in the same hotel as you, a couple floors above you.
Yeah. Everywhere I went the whole 4 days, you can't tell anybody this, but I was packing a gun. By the way, it's illegal to have a gun in the Mandalay Bay, in any casino in Las Vegas. So, and I know that, by the way. So I already know that. You don't need to tell me that. So anyway, right before we were leaving for me to go speak at 2:45 in the afternoon, I did a thing on packing a gun.
I know.
The importance of being prepared to defend yourself.
Yep.
And Johnny, the camera guy that's always with me, recorded it. I sent it to you.
Yes.
And I'm like, dude, this happened this afternoon.
Yeah, that's bananas.
Okay. That was at 2:45. Like 8 hours later, not 8 hours, 7 hours later, the validity of that video became true. So that's the stuff I hate about being, a role model and the uncle, because then people are like, you shouldn't do that. You shouldn't act like that. I'm like, you know what? I live in America. I got to be free to express who I am.
Right.
Why not? Why be who you are if you can't be who you are?
Well, I think all people that have become successful, especially during this time, you're kind of a product in a sense. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the more tangible you are, the more I can describe what you are, I think the more valuable somebody is. I don't think these are the days anymore where everybody's just vanilla. You kind of blend in.
Yeah,
I think you need to stand out. So I don't think you stand out on purpose.
It costs me though. It costs me deals. It costs me gigs. It costs me, somebody's going to say he's a loose cannon, can't use him.
Yeah, but I bet you it gets you more than it costs you, or you wouldn't do it, right? I think it gets you more than it costs you.
Yeah, I don't know. I just know if I compromise myself like I did with weed.
Yes. Okay.
If I compromise myself with customers, if I compromise myself every day with, what I study or what I'm willing to research,
what you believe in,
or, then the next thing you know, I'm some other guy again.
Yeah, I think that's a massive, massive lesson for everybody to learn. I also think it's where we're going to talk about this in a little bit, but I think it's where some of your confidence comes from. I think you know who you are.
Yeah.
I think you know what you are, what you stand for, what you believe in, and I think that's one of the things that makes you unique. Is like I think your confidence is I think it's a magnet. I think it's something that it makes you attractive. That's why these people listen to you. And so I've watched you. You're one of the rare, the elite, like the world-class performers. I don't care if you're looking at football and it's Tom Brady or business, it's Grant Cardone. Somehow, and it's reverse. It's odd. The more they get fed, it's natural to be not quite as hungry after you eat a big meal. Somehow you've been eating at the big plate at every dinner of your life, the dinner of life. You're being fed. You're getting, and you're hungrier. You're hungrier. You're relentless. Like, what is that? Like, where does this come from? Does it come from a vision you're trying to chase? Does it come from your self-confidence level? How do you stay hungry as you're winning? Because this, all people watching out there, they're achievers. And you know what? They do slow down when they get to a level. They do slow down when they get some accolades. They don't stay as hungry. How have you stayed like that? Why is your will to win not for sale?
Yeah, because the thirst is for potential. My play is not money. It's not a bigger plane. It's not more real estate. Even though I want all those things, it is potential. Is the discovery of my potential. So I'm interested in what could I do? What can I do? How far can I go? Could I translate my material? Could my material live, could I become immortal? Grant Cardone. Could Grant Cardone the name, not the body? It can't.
Right.
It's impossible. But could I do something of biblical proportions?
You believe that you're capable of doing something huge in your life?
I told my sister called me one day. My oldest sister called and said, she's 74, and she's like, she was just ragging on me. Fox said you're a business expert. This is an ongoing joke, And then I get interviewed by CNBC on some real estate. They're calling you the real estate expert, and then they're calling you this. And she's making fun of me, right? I said, and she's like, what are you up to? I said, I'm going to do something in my lifetime that lives on for biblical proportions at times, thousands of years. So
is that why you write? Is that why you write the books? They'll be there someday?
Yeah, totally. They'll be there. But I got to translate them now because the Chinese can't read that book, right?
Yeah.
The Spanish can't read that book, and Canadians and Australians and Americans can read it, but can I even get it out to them? So I'm interested. I know my technology. What I teach and what I write is unique. I sit down and look at things in life.
Even your verbiage is different than everybody else's. You don't use everybody else's words.
I don't copy people.
You don't. Your verbiage is totally.
I don't copy people. I call out people when I think it's bullshit.
Yep.
The 4-hour work week. I'm just telling you, ain't nobody in their freaking lifetime ever done a 4-hour work week and actually created something.
Absolutely.
The solopreneur. It's garbage. It's bullshit. It's just popular. It's just an idea that you're going to work for yourself. When people tell me that you're better off making 42 grand at home than you are working for somebody else, my response is nobody's better off making 42 grand.
Oh God, that's ridiculous.
When somebody says network marketing's a bad thing, I'm like, they're stupid. It's just
they're
dumb.
stupid, right?
Okay.
There's only thousands of people who are winning doing it.
Yeah, exactly. So don't be stupid. Don't regurgitate stupidity.
Yeah, you don't accept stupid ideas just because they're accepted by the masses of people.
Yeah, and I don't take advice from quitters. And the only people that say network marketing is a bad thing are people that quit it. And by the way, those that never started it were also quitting it.
Yeah.
The only reason they would know about it is they considered it for a second and then didn't do it, and now they're justified why they didn't.
So speaking of that, on the network marketing, recruiting sort of flavored thing that we're talking about, in my business, I tell people to get wide. And what in my business, what getting wide is a little bit different, but getting wide means you're going to have lots of agents that report directly to you. It spreads out your influence, it spreads out your risk, et cetera, et cetera. But you also talk about in your business, you getting wide. You talk about that. What's you getting wide mean in your world? What's it mean?
Like I made a mistake with money, not using money, You know, becoming this guy that became wealthy and still acting like a pauper.
Yeah.
Okay. So what happened was that basically shrunk me back into being a pauper, small.
Yes.
So look, you never commit one crime. Nobody ever commits one crime. So where you find one crime in life, and by the way, you know, you're committing a crime on yourself when you make these mistakes. There's other crimes of a similar nature. Well, I'd also not taken my brand wide. Okay. I was good in this one vertical.
Yeah.
I mean, I was great at it. I was like the best.
Okay.
And I didn't start crossing over to other verticals.
That was in the car business?
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Because I was selling out for this money right here.
Yes.
Because it was easy money.
Yes.
And just like you described the guy that's satisfied, right?
Yes.
They settled in. I had settled in this vertical.
Okay.
And so, and look, when you're around a bunch of people that are in a vertical, that have also settled, that are trapped in some narrow band, they're not going to tell you to go this way,
right,
and go out here. They're going to tell you, oh, it's hard, it's almost impossible, nobody's ever done it, you're going to lose your audience, which you're going to probably lose some audience. It is very difficult. Probably one of the most difficult things I've done is go this way. Like, it was really, really difficult because I didn't want to lose this audience.
And you did lose a little of it.
Sure I did.
Yeah.
These people were pissed off, man. When they saw me actually making moves and succeeding, people were like, oh, my competitors took advantage of it. See, he's interested in other stuff, not just this.
Yeah.
So they try to take advantage of it. Because I'm spending energy over here, I lose a little bit of something here.
Yep.
So
how do you do that, man? Like you, and I got a couple of specific things after that, but like you talk about you're able to be bold about what you believe in your faith. You can take some shots for that, right? You can take some shots for having the gun thing at Mandalay, right? You took some shots, and you knew that by going to spreading your width of your influence, right? And I think, and it's just interesting. In today's world, it seems to me the thing that holds most people back is their worry and fear about criticism and what other people are going to think about them. I mean, it's just they're obsessed with it. I think social media's been good, but the bad part is how many likes did I get? What are they going to think about this? Are people thinking I'm happy? You know, am I going to get criticism? How do you just not care, or do you care and you do it anyway?
No, I care and I don't look.
You don't look.
What, you know what I'm saying? Like we were talking earlier, and I was showing you this little thing I do. This one of these little rituals I do. You talk about rituals and this little thing, because I was passing across this article that I'd shown Ed, that I'd posted. And I said, Ed, anytime I look at anything, while I'm with you having a conversation and tell my people to do this, grab something, post it another place, push it some other place. So we multi-purpose everything.
You do, man. You're after that stuff all the time.
Yeah, so you'll see me doing a lot of different things in a lot of different spaces, pieces and parts of it, little clips of videos, audio, you know. So we multi-purpose because I'm trying to go all these different directions, and I don't know how people want to consume data.
Okay, so
the point is, back to this is, I don't really look at whether you liked it or not.
It's not on your radar screen.
Yeah. Now, I do have staff that tells me to take stuff down. In fact, they don't tell me anymore. They just take it down.
They do.
So Sherry kind of runs control, kind of Hurricane Irma pickup.
Yes.
So does my wife. So they're like, they know I'm a hurricane.
Yep.
They know I'm going to destroy stuff.
Yep.
I'm going to tear trees out, dude. I'm going to damage stuff. I am a hurricane.
Yep.
I'm a hurricane that never stops.
I think every great entrepreneur is a bit of a hurricane.
Yeah.
And I think the ones that struggle are trying to keep everything clean, neat, tidy, and organized. Being an entrepreneur is messy.
Yeah. And this is the guy I don't want to be. I don't want to be the successful uncle that went into hiding now.
Yeah, me either.
Or the billionaire that there's no access.
Right.
You know?
You want to spread it.
Yeah, I don't know Mark Cuban's wife. I've never seen her.
Yeah, that's a good point.
You know, I've never seen Elon Musk's wife. I've seen one interview with her, okay? Warren's wife. I want my wife to be out there.
Yeah.
I want you guys to know my kids. I want you to see the mistakes I make in my life. I want to see behind the curtain.
Yeah, I think they're not following an image. I think they're actually following you. I think they're actually following you through your life, and I think you're helping lead them too. I think it inspires them. I think that's a huge there's a couple big differences. Both you and I have actually done something in our lives, so when we're preaching to people out there in the world, we're actually coming from a place of experience and some real value. We're not making our bio up as we go along, which is most people, I think, out there in this space. I think most people in this space are just literally blogging and talking about crap they've actually never done in their lives, and somehow it becomes scripture to people that follow them, whereas you and I actually have real businesses, real companies, real net worths. But let's go through some rapid fire stuff.
But let me just go back to it. There was a time in my life, like, you know, the person that's been most dissatisfied with me is me. I wanted to be able to teach other people sales.
Yes.
And then I learned how to do that.
Yep.
And I was making millions of dollars a year doing that.
Yep.
But I was not a businessman yet.
Yeah.
And it killed me. Ed, it killed me. that I wasn't a businessman. I was a speaker. I was a speaker, okay? Writing a book would not have solved that for me, okay? So I started a second business with a partner. He exceeded what I was doing in that speaking business. He was the businessman, I was the partner.
You still weren't.
I still wasn't a businessman. I started the real estate business, and we had, 400 or 500 units. I was an investor. I still wasn't running a business. So literally, it has been like 4 or 5 of these before I was like, okay, now I'm a businessman.
Wow.
So it's literally like in the last 7 or 8, maybe 10 years that I really felt, okay, now I'm a legitimate, for the first time in my career.
Was there something that changed, a catalyst? Was there just steps, just process?
Well, it's part of what we talked about earlier, lifting off the disabilities like that were covering me up to play a small game, to be a sales guy, to be an author, to be a speaker. These were really small, tiny games.
Yes.
You know, to be just the father.
Yeah.
You know, to be.
Don't you love those guys? Hey, I'm a good dad.
Oh, yeah.
Like that's a ticket into, you're supposed to be a good dad.
Happy's a label, by the way.
Yeah.
Happy's a label, just like ADD.
Yeah.
Okay, they're both made up.
They're both made up.
So these are limitations, because I could be happy.
Yeah.
You know, I could be attention deficit disorder. I could have it for a second because, but I can have total attention in this interview.
Right.
So maybe I have an attention deficit because nobody got my attention.
Right. People get your. Both of us don't believe in most of these labels, or if any of them out there. All right, rapid fire stuff I've observed about you. So people are watching this. So
this guy does a good interview right here, man. Ed Mylett, the EM show. EM squared. Hey, if you think we should call this EM squared, like the Einstein thing, that should be the name of the show.
I know, he feels strongly about that. So y'all can get back to me. You can message me here. Let me know if you like that EM squared. Be the new Einstein. How important is it to be to close?
Dude, nothing matters if you don't close. Like if you don't close, everything prior to this is just like why'd you waste everybody's time, including your own?
Do you teach that to your people? I mean, do you have an environment of closing? Or
Dude, we close in a greeting.
What's that mean?
It means, hey, you guys, do you need me to show you this, or do you have enough information to make a decision?
See, I think
so somebody's with me, if somebody's agreed, you know, one thing I want to do is, like you're gonna, you know, like let's say you come to my one of my real estate investment dinners.
Yep.
I'm going to ask everybody in the room, hey, does anybody in the room know enough already to invest in the fund?
Right from the get-go.
Well, yeah. Why would I do the whole presentation?
So you've started to close from the very beginning.
Why would I?
Yeah.
Not flow you power because you're certain.
No,
you walked in the room with a check for 500 in your heart.
Yeah.
In your mind, you're like, I'm going to do 500. I'm going to do $1 million.
Yeah.
Okay. So why would I put you through the whole presentation when you've already decided?
Yeah. The reason I asked you this is because I want people that are watching this, because we can't get into this in the totality here.
But we could create programs for this.
Well, that's what I'm going to say. So first off, my organization is working on a custom program with you that we're going to do that involves some of these things. But if you're out there and you're involved in anything, which is everything, by the way, that requires sales or influence or persuasion, you are crazy not to get involved with this guy's technology and the training systems he have. I've become more and more familiar with, even today, pouring into some of this stuff. This is the premier, I'm saying this in your presence, not only is he the premier bird strike capturer in probably the world, I think you're probably #1 at that. But
#1 and only one.
It's just unbelievable. But
I'm the Mayweather of bird strikes.
Of bird strikes.
I am the Conor McGregor of bird strikes. Okay, so like.
But
I am the Shamu of bird strikes.
You're the whale, baby.
Shamu's dead now.
I don't know.
Did Shamu die?
I don't know.
I am the Armageddon of bird strikes.
There you go, the Armageddon of bird strikes. But I got to tell you, he's the Armageddon of sales. And I'm telling you, this is the best stuff I've seen on persuasion, on influence, on managing yourself, on closing, on overcoming objections. And if you're in anything that involves that, which is about everything for those of you that are listening to this, get involved with this stuff. Where would they go first website-wise? What's the best place to go to?
You would go to probably Cardone University or cardoneu.com to see what we do there. Cardoneu.com.
This is not normal endorsement by me. I'm telling you, this stuff would immediately make a difference for you from the second
you know, I mean, I'm just in my defense, okay? Yeah. Not of me personally, but of what we've created, is I struggled with sales so much because I was trying to do a lot of stuff that I was being taught that's very, very ancient.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about Brian Tracy old, you know, or Tom Hopkins. Both of those guys are my friends, by the way.
I know.
And I'm just talking about age-wise. They were delivering content from the 50s, 60s, 70s, right? Their content was actually from hundreds of years before that.
That's right.
Ask questions, get control, spend more time with people. These are ancient, bypassed done philosophies.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you're sitting down with somebody that's looking at WFG as a husband and wife, they've already been on the internet to check WFG.
Yeah, right.
Or whatever that is, whatever it is you're doing,
Yep.
any real client prospect.
People aren't stupid. They know what you're there to do, so do it.
Well, yeah, I mean, the internet
Yep.
like has made it available. So I would walk in that meeting. I'm not looking to spend longer with them. I'm looking to spend less time with qualified people.
Yep.
Go in, show them what they need, close the deal.
Yeah.
We did a call today. Me and you did a call today.
Yep.
We weren't on that call very long.
No, probably.
I kept saying, let me ask a question. Let me ask a question.
Yeah.
Let me ask a question, Ed. So he finally got him on the phone. You know, Tom Hopkins taught me, hey, whoever asks questions controls
Yep.
the sale.
Yep.
It's not even true.
Yeah. Who controls it?
Whoever gets answers.
Whoever gets answers. That's good.
Most people ask questions, never get them answered.
Yeah. Well, gosh, that's so true. By the way,
Never get them answered.
That's
You
so
guys
true.
ask questions. What's your budget? How much do you have? You walk away, never get an answer.
Yeah, you got to get an answer. If you're going to ask questions, you got to get an answer. But
Always.
see, what happens is that the principles of closing.
Be
and stuff
willing
can
to
say-
blow a sale. Even be willing to blow the sale if it requires you to ask again.
I love that.
Because if you don't get the answer, you will not make the sale.
Here's what I watched today. I watched modern strategies.
Mm-hmm.
So the principles stay the same. The strategies change. They'll be different, by the way, in 10 more years.
Yeah.
And it's also, his content is digestible in bite-sized increments that you can get in this day and age and understand it. So I want to strongly encourage you, if you're in anything that involves sales or persuasion, which is all of you, and he doesn't even need the endorsement. He's got plenty of other business. I'm telling you that it would make an immediate impact for you. And that doesn't just include that stuff, but any of the books that he's written, especially the ones that are recent, at least for me. These are books that this 10X stuff, this obsession stuff is so flipping good. It's like, it's rare that I read stuff.
Yeah.
Because I've had some experience at winning and some success, that I read it and I immediately either A, learn something, or B, I agree 100% based on my experience. It confirms for me, right? It's like when we met, we started talking, it was like, we immediately connected because we believe the same stuff on so many different levels, right? And so that's why I want to encourage you, get his books and get involved with Cardone University. Go see it. You're going to make a huge shift. I mean, there's nothing else I could recommend you do. Then go do that would make the most immediate impact. You will not ever again suffer for not knowing what to do. It'll just be your willingness to go do it. So get in a relationship with this guy. It's going to be huge for you. So a couple things here, a few things. So I've watched you. I'm getting to know you better. I consider you a friend now. I enjoy our time. It just flies by. You know, I mean that. Like I've told you before, you're making me want to do better and be better. Yeah. Just your example, just your being does that for me. But there's some things inside you I've seen that I think I do well, but being around you, I want to do
you know how many
better.
people are going to say, there's no way I can study this dude based on some of the stuff they've heard already?
About you? I don't really care. They're crazy not to study you.
Yeah.
Well, here's what's nuts about that.
I mean, it's so sad though, man. You know, like, because I'll study anybody. I don't care if you're a Muslim. I don't care if you're white, black, male, female. Show me the results, man. That's all I care about. Just show me what works.
There are probably people who are ultimately aren't going to become successful anyway. They're looking for reasons not to win instead of reasons to win. Usually the people that are magnetized to you and I are people who are looking for reasons to win. That's who most of you are that are listening to this. You're trying to find a freaking way to win.
That's one of my favorite closes, by the way.
What's that?
Are you looking for reasons to do this or not?
Right. That's the whole bottom line. The bottom line is if you're looking for a reason to win, you're following the right two people, right? We come at it from different perspectives, but one thing, those of you who listen to this, and Grant's a Catholic as well, but as a Christian, I'm not naive enough to think that the Lord only puts Christians in my life to teach me things. That'd be obscene. That'd be ridiculous. The Lord's going to bring all kinds of different people into my life to teach me, to alter me, to influence me. He's using me as his tool, and of course some of these people are going to be catalysts for that. So that's insane not to think
man,
that.
my whole life, you know, I have prayed, like, show me the way, man.
I know you do.
Show me the way. Show me how to get my money right. Show me how to get my business right. Show me how to treat people right. Show me, one of the big things that was missing in my life was a wife.
Yeah.
Show me how to pick the right wife.
Yeah, and you did.
You know, show me how to become a good husband.
Yeah.
And to be a good husband.
Yep.
Now that I got the right wife.
Right.
Show me how to be a good dad. I was terrified of becoming a dad.
Were you?
Oh, terrified.
Yeah, well, you think you have this, I have it too, but you have this relentless desire to be the better version of you, to be the next expression of you, to find out where you could be. That's the real answer. You're excited about finding out who you could be.
Yeah.
And I am too. I'm like passionate about that. I'm optimistic about it. I'm anxious to see the next version of me. I think you're unbelievable with that. But I want to ask you some things I've observed. So just want to go through these with you a little bit. Okay. You keep promises you make to yourself for the most part? In other words, if you tell yourself you're going to do something, do you keep those promises?
Not always.
Okay.
You know, So with like workouts, I've been really slack, as you can tell, on workouts lately.
I think you look great. I've told you. This guy's 59 years old.
Thank you.
I mean, I got here this morning.
Yeah.
And there's a security guard in the parking lot. I said, I got to find Cardone's offices. The first thing the guy said to me, he goes, oh, I know where he is. And we start to walk. He goes, when you see him, you're not going to believe this. I thought he was 43 years old. He's 59 years old. I said, I already knew that. I said, you're kidding me. That's the first thing the guy told me about
awesome.
you. That's how young you look. So you're doing something right with that.
Thank you.
But how from a business perspective, do you keep the promises that you make to yourself? Like you say,
always.
Yeah.
Always. I might be a little long on them.
Yeah.
You know, it might take me a little longer to get to it.
And that, by the way, that's an observation I've made about you.
Yeah.
He has this thing, no, I'm telling you the truth, especially when you're around me a little bit. You have total optimum self-confidence in your business capacity. I watch it with you. You know what you're doing. You know you're skilled. You're confident. You're beyond confident. You're certain. The more certain person wins, right? I think that's because you've kept promises you make to yourself. I think the number one requirement in being a confident person is that you start by when I meet someone who lacks self-confidence in an area, I'll tell myself this is someone who just simply doesn't keep the promises they make to themselves in that area.
I like
right?
that.
And that's the reverse is true in your body.
Yeah,
You and I have talked a lot about that before. Like you look great, but your confidence level and your fitness and all that stuff isn't the same as it is in business. It's probably because you miss some workouts once in a while. I'm serious.
Yeah, no, I do. And
no, it's an area that we talk about.
But it's also like, okay, so.
No, but it's true.
Yeah.
It's true. No, go ahead. What are you going to say?
Well,
say it.
I've just never.
It's not a priority.
Exactly.
You told me that
I've
when
never invested much time in my body.
Yeah, you told me that.
Like I know some people like literally when I get ready, I don't even look. I'll go 3 and 4 days without looking at myself.
You told me that.
And part of that, you know, is freedom. Like I'm not locked up in this identity of being 5'8" and 170 pounds. I don't think I'm a body.
Right, I know that.
I am not a physical unit.
That's right. The difference with me and you is that, so first off, I know that you think that, and I know that's not a part. This is really good. So I'm going to tell you something that I think I have, okay?
Yeah.
Part of my confidence in business is that I think my body, I think nowadays more and more business people train like athletes and more athletes train like business people. LeBron James is not the same guy that Julius Erving was, right? LeBron James is a businessman, like Jay-Z says. He's a businessman, right? And so more of these guys, Tom Brady has a best-selling book out right now, right? He's a businessman. And so more athletes think like businessmen.
Yeah, I agree.
And I think, and by the way, you are super fit, but I think one of the advantages for people, if they can keep their body fit, not big or muscular, but high energy and healthy. I watch what you eat. You do eat healthy. You do eat clean. We just did right now. You give me that little terrible thing you made me eat.
I put good fuel in my car, but I'll tell you, today, I still don't put premium.
I know you don't.
I don't put the best gas in my car because I think it's a scam. But I just put whatever,
Me either.
Yeah, I put the best gas in there to get me from back and forth because it's a lease car anyway. I'm going to flip it and turn it in and say
me too.
bye-bye.
But I think your business self-confidence comes from doing that. There's another thing I observed about you. I want to ask you about it. You're aggressive. You are aggressive. What that means is even if you have a plan.
I'm probably the most aggressive
I agree.
business person I know.
Me too. I think you're the most aggressive business person that I've met. And the other thing you'll do is in the moment you'll jump on something. Like if it's not planned and it could get something done, it could close, it could grow something, you'll do it. Talk about that for a minute. How important is aggression, being offensive, jumping on the moment?
Dude, I walk into every environment looking for a deal to ink. You know, I'm just telling you, if you need to know, or when you're with me, I'm looking for a deal.
Yeah.
I don't care if it was my mama. If my mom died about 8 years ago, I guess. But if she came back, I mean, literally, if I had 30 minutes with her, I'd spend 28 minutes, you know, just reminiscing, and 2 minutes trying to close her for something. Shit. I'd be like, there got to be something you got.
Yeah, and you lose interest quick if that's not there. You're out of it.
Well, I don't lose interest quick, but I definitely try to set up something for later. You know, so you know, I believe in my product. So like, I'm always looking to how do I insert the product.
Yeah.
I'm way beyond now anybody calling me a sales guy.
Yeah.
He's always selling. He's always marketing.
Right.
He's always promoting. Yeah, you can say all those things about me. I already know that.
Right, of course you are.
Okay, let me say it for you.
Yeah.
I'm always selling, I'm always promoting, I'm always marketing.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're not tell me something about myself I don't know, because I already know that.
Yeah, and those are positives.
Yeah, and you're saying it about me because you don't do it yourself.
That's correct. Yeah, that's like we said earlier today. If you had the cure for cancer, you wouldn't feel like a salesman if you were spreading it around. You tell literally everybody. So if you feel like what you're doing benefits somebody, it improves the quality of their life, you're at fault for not spreading that.
And shame on you if you're selling a product you don't feel good about.
Yeah, you're in the wrong place, exactly.
And shame on you if you're spending your time hating on something you've already given up on.
That number one thing is you interviewed me earlier, and I was saying I've never really competed with other people. I'm not concerned with other people do that. Is wasted energy that steals from my focus.
Yeah.
I'm worried about what I'm doing, my team's doing, my company's doing. Anything outside of that is someone is trying to rob me of my elite, hyper-focused state. I'm not doing that crap. I don't care what you're doing. I don't care if you're doing it wrong. I don't care where you're doing it.
Well, I do when I'm going too slow.
Of course, you got time to think.
Because you said something to me this morning about your frequency.
Yes.
You know, I like the vibration rate.
Yep.
But man, as long as I hit my right frequency up there, like when I'm bing, 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 bing.
Me too.
Like I don't get caught up in all this stuff.
I told you one of the things I've observed about you that they're going to think I'm weird for is that I think you vibrate at a super high frequency, meaning your energy level, your capacity to move things and influence things is at a high level.
Yeah.
And by the way, I will, now that we're hanging out a little bit, I'm going to get you to even go 1 millimeter further by being a little bit more fit, by being in a better state. I'm gonna help you do that.
I just need more Pilates, dude.
You don't. He is a Pilates expert, but
I need a real expert Pilates person.
No,
because when you do it, buddy, you light a core up so hot.
Well, I thought you didn't need it.
No. When I get a really good, because I don't really know how to do it myself.
Right. You don't even really do Pilates either. You just bought the leotards. Right. You got the leotards, but you don't really know how to Pilates.
Probably not.
Nobody knows. What does that even mean? This is a grown man talking Pilates right in front of me. By the way, just so you know, your fitness and all that stuff would give you even another gear.
No, you're right. I totally agree.
Well, I don't even wonder whether I'm right about that. I know that I'm right about that.
And I know you're right. So
okay,
there's nothing to argue about.
One other thing, but in that, you have this capacity, and we don't have too much more time.
Yeah. We got as much time as you want. It's your podcast.
Your capacity level is freakish.
What's wrong with this guy?
Okay, so
what?
Your capacity level. So how much you can get done in a given day, right? So talk about that for a second. Do you think about that like consciously, or do you just
I walked in here today.
Yes.
After being gone 4 or 5 days. You know, I didn't plan on the Mandalay Bay shooting.
Right.
Like you guys that are doing to-do list and time management, you're trying the time management thing.
Talk about that. How you don't manage time, you expand it.
Yeah, I don't manage time. I mean, I create time.
What's that mean?
It means I'm not managing ammo. I'm not managing money. Time is not some. It's all made up, man. Mm-hmm. Time is made up. Mm-hmm. The 24 hours is made up.
Right. Right.
The 60-minute clock is made up. Okay.
Yes.
The sundial is made up. Like you know, I don't have to go to sleep when the sun goes down,
right.
And I don't have to wake up when it comes up.
Right.
So it's all made up. Like I want the ability to operate when I want, how I want. You know, so I create time. I decide when Mandalay Bay shut down, and there's a shooter, and 59 people get killed, and 527 people get hurt, and a hotel room with 5,700 rooms has to be searched, cleared, checked, double time, FBI, ATF, Metro Police, 5,700 rooms, biggest hotel in America, and all the public spaces, and the casinos, and the jackpots, and the executive and the employee lounges. Yep. People are like, how long do you think we're going to be down here? We're going to get out of here at 8:30. I just did the math. I did 5,700 rooms, 3 minutes each, 2,700 policemen. We're going to be here 12 hours.
You knew it.
Okay, so what am I going to do now?
Right.
What am I going to do with the time I have?
Yeah.
Right? You know what I did? I took a nap.
Took a nap.
It's 200 people in the cafeteria. The thing had calmed down. The shooter was down. He was dead. And the first thing my wife observed is you and Kevin Harrington. Kevin was down in the room with me. He's like, you and Kevin Harrington are the first two people sleeping.
You told me that. Yeah, you're like, I need to get some sleep because I know.
So the two executives go to sleep, get some rest, because we know what? There's going to be another day. So I want to wake up the next day rested, ready to roll again.
Yep.
So it's not how do you manage time, but how do you maximize whatever time you have. And people often ask me, well, how much do you sleep? And I said, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
I worry about what I do the other 16 hours. I sleep 8 hours a day.
I know you do. You told me that before. You get a full 6. I don't get full 8, but I understand what you mean. I max out every single second of the day.
Yeah.
And that's not some tagline either. You do really embody maxing out. The call.
Yeah. So when I came in here today, where I started, I did not have a calendar. Katie keeps the calendar.
I know you didn't even know a couple of meetings you had.
Yeah, look, I wasn't even sure what day he was coming in here. So I'm like, he said, yesterday, today, so when I came in today, literally, I didn't know about that meeting we had today.
I know you didn't.
So she
now,
just
he's not some other one with me, some other one that we had.
We had a guest in here today, NFL guy, and anyway, so yeah, I do whatever I have to do.
Yeah, you do. You react well in the moment. You got your plan. You write your goals down in the morning at night?
Yeah.
You do.
Yeah.
But then you improvise.
I like
all
that.
day long.
I write them down in the morning, I write them down at night, and I write them when I lose.
What do you mean by what you write them when you lose?
Anytime I lose or I'm disappointed, I just go back to writing my goals, looking at my goals. Where am I going as opposed to what just happened?
You really?
Yeah. So anytime I fail,
yep.
I lost this deal in Jacksonville. It was 1,000 units, and I missed the deal. And I was like, God damn, what did I do wrong? I'm beating myself up about it. And I wanted this deal, and I started, hammering on my staff. Ryan Seck was in there. I'm like, Ron, go do it. You should have told me. And then I'm like, okay, wait a minute. Where are you going, dude?
You went back to where you're going.
Oh, I'm going to 40,000 units.
Because that's rear view stuff.
Yeah, exactly. It's already over.
Got you.
So I'm going to 40,000 units. So what does 1,000 matter?
Right. But if you're not focused on the big thing, these little things get magnified.
By the way, I picked up the phone and called the guy and said, hey, if that deal falls out, I want it.
You did something. You took action.
Yeah.
Yeah. So talk about this for a second, real quick. So I heard you say one time. You said the big don't eat the small, the fast eat the slow.
Yeah.
What's that mean?
Yeah. I think we're in a time where it's not about big, it's about fast. How fast can you go?
What's an application of that?
Getting over stuff fast. Making calls fast. Getting to people fast.
Yeah.
Doing stuff fast. Not having ideas and putting them down, executing them. So I get more done in shorter periods of time because I just do more.
Yeah.
And the more I do, the more I have time to do. So speed, I don't think a lot. I do a lot. I probably outdo. Gary Vaynerchuk said, man, who you think over, somebody asked, hey, who outworks who because we're supposedly both. I said, dude, I don't know how much he works.
Yeah, right.
But I tell you what, I work fast.
Yeah, you do work fast.
You
do a lot of things at one time in one day.
Yeah.
I've watched you do that. You also get to the point of what I would call like winning. You get to the close. You get to the point where it's actually productive.
Yeah.
In other words, you're not stupid busy. People get stupid busy. They're just doing a bunch of crap that's not productive. Yeah. I even watch your face. Once you sort of identify what I'm doing right now is not real productive anymore, you kind of end it. Your face.
Well, you're very observant.
I am, but even that's what I meant by disinterested. Once this thing's not productive, you're not interested in it anymore. You're on it. Let's be productive. Do you sense that about yourself too?
Yeah. Oh, totally.
Yeah. I think
most of the time I feel bad about it. By the way, because
it can be rude.
Yeah, I hate small talk.
You do. Yeah.
Fucking hate it, dude.
I know you do.
I hate it. Like I'm working on this big deal in Houston, Texas, and I think I'm gonna have to go on a hunting trip to get it.
And you don't want to do that.
Dude, I don't even know if I can.
You just can't stomach the small talk stuff.
I hate it, man. I hate it. I hate thinking we're gonna have to go to the duck blinds, drink the beer, hang out, listen to the stories. I mean, it drives me nuts.
But will you do it if it's required to get the deal done?
I don't know. Probably.
You probably will.
Probably will.
I could tell you that you will from being around you.
Yeah. So
you'll do whatever is required of you to get a deal done, I think.
Yeah.
All right.
It's just some things I'm just not good at.
A couple more things.
Yeah.
A couple more things. So you want what? In other words, why does all this exist? You got this TV studio, all this content, you got 50-some employees here.
This studio exists because of a resentment. So this was created because I walked out of Fox News one day.
Okay.
And I was doing the Neil Cavuto show, and it lasted 3 or 4 minutes. So I drove over there, drove back, took 30 minutes to get there. I go sit down, they get me there 25 minutes early, I'm waiting. We go in there, I do 3 or 4 minutes. It's a great interview.
Yeah.
And I come home and I'm just like, that sucked, that's ridiculous. I drove all the way down there. I'm more important than this, this big arrogant thing. And they only had me 4 minutes, and I can't come back for at least a month because they won't.
Yeah, they won't have the same guy.
They're not going to have you tomorrow. Okay. Yeah. And we have no control, and this is bullshit, and I'm pissed off about it. Yep. And basically, what those things when I'm complaining about something, I'm like, okay, what are you going to do about that? So this quits happening to you. Okay, because I don't want to keep being angry. Like you said something about using all the energy, or was it it was Darius that was here today, and he said you got to use all the energy on the field.
Yes.
The anger.
Yep.
So I'm like, I'm so angry about this, and I walked into Sherry's office and said, let's get a studio. I want to be on TV every day. And And that's how Grant Cardone TV started.
And you started, you didn't care about what the cost was, the capital, the expense, anything?
We started small. We did one. We've had multiple versions of this. This is our third studio.
Okay.
And we've made a lot of mistakes and everything. But you know, every day, Monday I do a show, Tuesday I do a show, every day of the week I do a show.
What else do you
stream
want?
probably 10 times a week live.
No, and it's just the whole, I was in a sales meeting this morning, just the whole operation here, all the different things your hands are in.
Yeah,
all the stuff that you're interested in, between the social media stuff and the closing and your sales stuff, all that sort of stuff. What else do you want? Like, you know, you're looking at, I'm not going to tell you
I want 40,000 apartments. I'm going to take my real estate portfolio. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take the 4,000 units I have, I'm going to roll to 40,000.
Okay.
Okay, 40,000 times.
In what time frame?
I think I can do this in the next, in 10 years or less.
In 10 years or less. Okay.
I think I can get to 10,000 by maybe next year.
Okay.
2.5 times.
Yep.
And I think I can probably do it before 10 years.
Are you obsessed with it like your book says?
Oh, I'm totally obsessed with it.
Why? Why do you want that?
I may never write a book to do this.
What do you mean by that? You may never write a book?
I may never write another book to do this because I think that this is a game changer for me and others because look, I don't believe in there's a lot of financial instruments out there that I think are bad for people. Mm-hmm. And they start with where you live. You know, buying a house is a mistake. People should not be putting their money in a house. People should not be putting their money in a bank.
Right. Okay? We were just talking about this today.
And you guys are starting to move to the Bitcoin conversation and the crypto and the ICOs, and you're going to get killed. So Elena said, you cannot keep complaining about these things if you're not going to provide people with an alternative. Mm-hmm. I didn't want to do the investor thing, and she said that to me like 3 times. You have to provide an alternative if you're going to, hammer on this stuff.
Yep.
So that's why I'm creating the fund.
And have them know a little bit about it so that
Cardone Capital is a fund created for people that love real estate, like passive income.
Accredited investors only.
Yeah, positive cash flow.
Yeah.
And you're willing and able in a financial situation, you can wait for 6, 7, 8, 10 years to double and triple your money. Mm-hmm. So this
and by the way, principal too. You
get your principal back.
Yep.
You get a dividend every month.
Yep.
Not every quarter, every month. Mm-hmm. And you wait for us to do a double or a triple.
Gotcha.
So this isn't get rich quick.
Yep.
But it is get rich for sure.
Yep. And that's your primary focus right now.
Because what I want to do, I want to scale. The best way to get allegiance and friends on this planet is to pay them every month.
Right.
It's not for them to pay you, it's to pay them. Okay?
Yeah, they'll get you friends quick.
You want to make friends. Dude, a billionaire taught me this.
Yeah.
He's like, Grant, if you want people pulling for you, pay them.
That's so true. Yeah.
And I said, what do you mean? He's like, I'm not talking about employees.
Yeah.
Pay them with investments.
Yeah.
Get their money to be paid money.
Yeah.
You want friends? He's like, man, because he built a company from scratch. It went public, and everybody that invested got rich. And he's like, I got people all over the planet. He was telling me before it went public. He's like, I got people all over the planet pulling for me every day.
Wow.
And so that really set that idea. I said, okay, I've helped them with books. I've helped them with seminars. I helped them with speaking at your gig.
Yep.
Then we opened up in October, November last year. We opened up 2 funds. They oversold.
Yeah.
And every month people get a check. Well, people are starting like, thank you, send me gifts, thank you, sending me a watch, thank you. Like, wow. Man, people are pulling for me, they're praying for me. People tell me, man, I'm praying for you now that I'm investing with you.
Yeah.
So we're going to scale that out.
Yeah.
It helps me scale,
Yep.
and it helps them make money.
So that's your primary focus right now. Above all these focuses, but you're driving, this thing is driving you the most right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's not keeping me from doing this interview with you right now. You know,
well, you couldn't be anywhere more important than that.
That's right.
You know
that's
that.
right. So I really want to do that. It's a personal thing for me because now if I could take the package, the 40,000 units, and go to Wall Street and sell it,
there you go.
That would be me ringing the bell. Is one on my bucket list.
I got some chills on my hairless arm right there. My hair that was there would be standing up.
So really, I'm going to help the public.
Yeah.
Be able to invest in these are massive projects that produce cash
that are very difficult. That someone couldn't get into on their own without the type of credit, access, capital, et cetera.
I mean, who's a rich guy you know?
Right. Rich Thawley.
The guy he can't buy these deals.
Right.
Even though he's got the money.
Right.
The guy you worked out with this morning.
Yeah.
He can buy the Marlins.
Derek Jeter.
He cannot buy these apartment deals.
Right.
Okay. They'll take his call.
Yeah.
But he's not going to be able to buy the deal because they're not going to sell him the deal because they don't know they don't know him for this to be in this space.
So there's also an access point that you provide that they couldn't get access.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, couple last things, things for them. So that's you. There's two types of entrepreneurs out there. I want you to talk to both of them real quick.
And let me just say this back on the apartment thing. The apartment thing is utilizing all the skills that I've honed for years: sales, negotiating, closing.
Yep.
Look, I know how to get a good deal. So if the deal's $80 million, I squeeze every $8,000 I can out of that deal going all the way down.
Yeah.
Like, so I know how to get a good deal on the way in, and I know how to get us a great deal on the way out when we sell it, because both of those are negotiating and sales points.
Okay. Anything else on that?
No, that's all.
Okay. There's more to it than that, but that was big.
Well, and there is one other thing, like discipline. Like, how many authors and speakers or consultants do you know that own their own plane?
That's a good question. Almost nobody.
Exactly.
Almost
So like,
nobody.
you can't, that bird that I bought, that's too small now, by the way.
Yeah.
You can't fake a plane.
No, I know.
You own a plane, exactly.
Yeah.
You own a plane.
Yeah.
Owning a plane is not a demonstration of being rich. It is a demonstration of discipline.
So true. Yeah.
It is not a demonstration of rich. It is a demonstration or wealth. It is a demonstration that somebody was disciplined.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about Coca-Cola on a plane. I'm talking about an individual.
Like a human being, right? Yeah.
It is because that thing that's like, if you think your dog takes a lot of energy, or your kids.
Oh my gosh.
That thing right there takes the energy of a school.
It does. And it's funny you say that, because very rarely do I pull my plane up next to other individuals' planes. They're usually owned by companies.
Coca-Cola.
Yeah, very rare that you go, hey, there's another
Sprint.
guy or another woman with an airplane like that.
Yeah.
Your vigilance is the other reason too. I'll just be honest with you. If I'm invested money, I want it to be with somebody that I know is just on it. Freaking on it constantly. And you're on it. So speaking about on it, last couple of things I was going to ask you. So there's two types of entrepreneurs out there. There's ones that are just getting started, and there's ones that are stuck at some level, right? Let's talk to the ones that are getting started. Okay. What advice would you give, just in general?
Work in increments. Follow the money. Follow the money. Don't follow your heart.
What do you mean by follow the money?
Follow the money. Find money. Find money. Who's got my money?
Close deals. Close deals.
Who's got my money? Not just close deals. You want to find money. Because you can close the deal if there's no money, then there's no money. So don't follow friendship. Don't follow love. Follow money. You single guys out there, you want the girl, follow the money. You follow the money, they'll follow it. They might not be gold diggers, they'll still like money. Okay. So I can line them up around the street if I get rich enough.
Okay, and then
follow the money for your department. Follow the money. When you get stuck, follow the money. Okay. I'm telling you, just make it simple. Follow the money. Is there money in this room? Is there money in this activity? Do these people have money? Is there any money at this dinner table? Am I eating where there's money? Is there money in this hotel? If there's no money there, don't go there.
Right. And money can be indirect too. Like in my business, money could be, I'm going to get money if I recruit people.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
We're going to talk about that.
Yeah. People. So who's got money?
Right.
Bars don't have money.
Bars don't.
There's drunk people in them.
Right.
So who's got money? And by the way, if they're drunk people, they can't buy from you because tomorrow they're going to wake up and say, I didn't really want to do that.
Yeah, you're right. So the same advice for someone that's stuck is to follow money.
I didn't want to do the investor thing, and she said that to me like 3 times. You have to provide an alternative if you're going to, hammer on this stuff.
Yep.
So that's why I'm creating the fund.
And have them know a little bit about it, so that
Cardone Capital is a fund created for people that love real estate, like passive income.
Accredited investors only.
Yeah, positive cash flow.
Yeah.
And you're willing and able in a financial situation, you can wait for 6, 7, 8, 10 years to double and triple your money. So this
and by the way, principal too. You
get your principal back.
Yep.
You get a dividend every month.
Yep.
Not every quarter, every month. And you wait for us to do a double or a triple.
Gotcha.
So this isn't get rich quick.
Yep.
But it is get rich for sure.
Yep. And that's your primary focus right now.
Because what I want to do, I want to scale. The best way to get allegiance and friends on this planet is to pay them every month.
Right.
It's not for them to pay you, it's to pay them. Okay?
Yeah, that'll get you friends quick.
You want to make friends. Dude, a billionaire taught me this.
Yeah.
He's like, Grant, if you want people pulling for you, pay them.
That's so true. Yeah.
And I said, what do you mean? He's like, I'm not talking about employees.
Yeah.
Pay them with investments.
Yeah.
Get their money to be paid money.
Yeah.
You want friends? He's like, man, because he built a company from scratch, it went public, and everybody that invested got rich. And he's like, I got people all over the planet. He was telling me before it went public. He's like, I got people all over the planet pulling for me every day.
Wow.
And so that really set that idea. I said, okay, I've helped them with books. I've helped them with seminars. I helped them with speaking at your gig.
Yep.
Then we opened up in October and November last year. We opened up 2 funds. They oversold.
Yeah.
And every month people get a check. Well, people are sort of like, thank you, send me gifts, thank you, send me a watch, thank you. Like, wow. Man, people are pulling for me, they're praying for me. People tell me, man, I'm praying for you now that I'm investing with you. Yeah. So we're gonna scale that out. It helps me scale, and it helps them make money.
So that's your primary focus right now. Above all these focuses, but you're driving, this is the thing that's driving you the most right now.
I mean, it's not keeping me from doing this interview with you right now. You know,
well, you couldn't be anywhere more important than that.
That's right.
You know
that's
that.
right. So I really want to do that. It's a personal thing for me, because now if I could take the package, the 40,000 units, and go to Wall Street and sell it,
there you go.
That would be me ringing the bell. Is one on my bucket list.
I got some chills on my hairless arm right there. My hair that was there would be standing up.
So really, I'm going to help the public. Be able to invest in these are massive projects that produce cash
that are very difficult. Someone couldn't get into on their own without the type of credit, access, capital, etc.
I mean, who's a rich guy you know?
Right. Rich Thawley.
The guy he can't buy these deals.
Right.
Even though he's got the money.
Right.
The guy you worked out with this morning.
Yeah.
He can buy the Marlins.
Derek Jeter.
He cannot buy these apartment deals.
Right.
Okay. They'll take his call. Yeah. But he's not going to be able to buy the deal because they're not going to sell him the deal because they don't know they don't know him for this to be in this space.
So there's also an access point that you provide that they couldn't get access.
Yeah. Exactly.
Okay. Couple last things. Couple things for them. So that's you. There's 2 types of entrepreneurs out there. I want you to talk to both of them real quick.
And let me just say this back on this, the apartment thing. The apartment thing is utilizing all the skills that I've honed for years: sales, negotiating, closing.
Yep.
Look, I know how to get a good deal. So if the deal's $80 million, I squeeze every $8,000 I can out of that deal going all the way down.
Yeah.
Like, so I know how to get a good deal on the way in, and I know how to get us a great deal on the way out when we sell it, because both of those are negotiating and sales points.
Okay. Anything else on that?
No, that's all.
Okay. There's more to it than that, but that was big.
Well, and there is one other thing, like discipline. Like, how many authors and speakers or consultants do you know that own their own plane?
That's a good question. Almost nobody.
Exactly. So like, you can't, you know, that bird that I bought, this is too small now, by the way.
Yeah.
You can't fake a plane.
No, I know.
You own a plane, exactly.
Yeah.
You own a plane.
Yeah.
Owning a plane is not a demonstration of being rich. It is a demonstration of discipline.
So true. Yeah.
It is not a demonstration of rich. It is a demonstration or wealth. It is a demonstration that somebody was disciplined.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about Coca-Cola on a plane. I'm talking about an individual.
Like a human being, right? Yeah.
It is because that thing that's like, you know, if you think your dog takes a lot of energy, or your kids.
Oh my gosh.
That thing right there takes the energy of a school.
It does. And it's funny you say that, because very rarely do I pull my plane up next to other individuals' planes. They're usually owned by companies.
Coca-Cola.
Yeah, very rare that you go, hey, there's another
Sprint.
guy or another woman with an airplane like that.
Yeah.
Your vigilance is the other reason too. I'll just be honest with you. If I'm invested money, I want it to be with somebody that I know is just on it. Freaking on it constantly. And you're on it. So speaking about on it, last couple things I was going to ask you. So there's 2 types of entrepreneurs out there. There's ones that are just getting started, and then there's ones that are stuck at some level, right? Let's talk to the ones that are getting started. Okay. What advice would you give, just in general?
Work in increments. Follow the money. Follow the money. Don't follow your heart.
What do you mean by follow the money?
Follow the money. Find money. Find money. Who's got my money?
Close deals. Close deals.
Who's got my money? You know, not just close deals. You want to find money. Because you can close the deal if there's no money, then there's no money. So don't follow friendship. Don't follow love. Follow money. You single guys out there, you want the girl, follow the money. You follow the money, they'll follow it. They might not be gold diggers, they'll still like money. Okay. So I can line them up around the street if I get rich enough.
Okay. And then
follow the money for your department. Follow the money. When you get stuck, follow the money.
Okay.
I'm telling you, just make it simple. Follow the money. Is there money in this room? Is there money in this activity? Do these people have money? Is there any money at this dinner table? Am I eating where there's money? Is there money in this hotel? If there's no money there, don't go there.
Right. And money can be indirect too. Like in my business, money could be, I'm going to get money if I recruit people.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
We're going to talk about that.
Yeah. People. So who's got money?
Right.
Bars don't have money.
Bars don't.
There's drunk people in them.
Right.
So who's got money? And by the way, if they're drunk people, they can't buy from you because tomorrow they're going to wake up and say, I didn't really want to do that.
Yeah, you're right. So, okay, so the same advice for someone that's stuck is to follow money.
Look, if you're stuck, you know, if you're stuck, I would probably look at the people around you first.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you didn't get in this to get stuck. So somebody, you know, my friend that I mentioned earlier that I gotten so much help from, it's like conditions don't just happen. They're made to happen. So terrorist attack, they're made to happen. Okay, wars are made to happen. Illiteracy is made to happen. It's not an accident. These things happen. Roaches show up in your apartment. That was made to happen. Somebody did that, right? So if your roof caves in, Puerto Rico, the storm. These aren't events. It's an island this big in the ocean, and they get hurricanes. Like that's going to happen. So I don't know why everybody's surprised.
Shocked, right.
So if you're stuck, somebody made that happen.
Yes.
Who was it? Was it you or was it your wife? Or your husband saying, you're working too hard.
Yeah.
You're working too hard. You need to relax. Or maybe it's your friends, or maybe you went to dinner and your family's like, you're working too much. I have my family members tell me that. I'm like, look, if you don't knock it off, I'm not coming back here.
I got that same stuff in the beginning. You look back 90, 120 days, you'll find the story.
You
You stopped doing something you used to do that kept you successful.
Yeah.
Right? You stopped prospecting, you stopped closing, you stopped recruiting,
Yeah.
you stopped talking to people, you stopped making phone calls, you stopped personal development, you stopped reading books, you stopped something in the
Somebody
background.
said, when's enough, Ed?
Right.
That's a natural question. I get it all the time.
Yeah.
I said, you're stuck.
You're stuck.
If you're asking that question, you're already stuck.
Yeah, and that's why they're not hungry anymore too.
Yeah.
Right. All right, listen, this has been, this is my favorite hour I've probably ever had on this kind of stuff.
Yeah, you told Tony the same thing. Man.
I didn't tell Tony that. What I told him was that he was my dream guest.
Okay.
That's what I told him.
Okay.
And it's not that I didn't dream to have you.
Yeah.
Because I'll probably get more people watching it because you're on here. But here's what I want you to know about this guy right here. This dude, he seems pretty hardcore and intense. This is what I got, and he won't tell you this. He really cares about you. He really cares that you have a happier and better life. He cares about people. He's one of these guys with this huge heart that's wrapped in this relatively interesting exterior. And you know this, Johnny. The camera guy's nodding right now. He's funny. He can be goofy. He can be super intense. He can be pretty harsh. He can be abrasive. He can be warm. He can be all those things. But what that's all wrapped in, and inside this dude, he has a massive heart. He wants to help people. He wants the world to change. He's got hundreds of thousands of pieces of information out there that he put out for free to help people, to serve them. And I know Today did that too, man. I know it's a different slant. I didn't want to do the same interview. You know, you're a kid, your dad died, all that's powerful, but that's out there. Some of the stuff we talked about today hasn't necessarily been out there. And so I appreciate you opening up about some of this other stuff today too, and sharing it with people.
Man.
I love you, brother.
Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you.
Enjoying
and you got a great audience, and you're doing a monster service for a lot of people.
Thank you, brother. All right, take care. Max it out, everybody.